2025 is the year of AI agents. A lot of companies are building AI agents and they have a very high demand of the people who know how to build these AI agents. But before that, we have to understand what is AI agent. Let me show you. We already know what is AI, right? So we on a day-to-day basis we use Chat GPT and similar platforms, right? So what happens on ChatGPT? We a user asks questions and the LLM gives the response. LLM is trained on a very large amount of data, and using that data, it responds to the user. Okay, this is how it responds. But it cannot take actions based on your input. For example, a very basic example we can take. Let's say if the user asks, book me a trip to Australia for month of November. If the user asks, book me a trip to Australia for month of November, this LLM can easily answer this. Why? Because the data it has been trained on internet, there are plenty of examples from the travel agencies which have the itinerary for this, right? So LLM knows this kind of a thing. So if a user asks, book me a cheapest flight from Delhi to Australia. But what is the problem here? Inherently, the LLM does not have the capability to book a flight. Here comes the AI agents. AI agents is a functionality on top of these LLMs, okay, which can act on your input, okay. So a very basic example could be that we have asked to book a ticket, right? So what will happen? This AI agent will talk to a tool, let's say from Expedia. What is an Expedia? Expedia is a travel website. You can book flights in this website. So what will happen? AI agent will make a call to Expedia. It will give source and destination, and then it will book a flight. So now you see the difference. Earlier, the LLM does not have the capability. Now, when we added this tool called Expedia, it became powerful. Now it has the capability. A very basic example you can think of the capability of internet. So when you ask a question to an LLM, let's say to ChatGPT, right? You ask a question and it also have the capability of internet. It can go to internet, search the recent data needed for your query and get the answer back. And then LLM gives you the answer. Now it becomes more relevant. Got it? So this is the CrewAI website. Here you can see the leading multi-agent platform and it supports a lot of tools. Companies like Oracle, KPMG, Accenture, Deloitte, they are using this. Okay, so now let's jump ahead to the example. Here we have created a Jupyter notebook, installed these dependencies. So I'm going to use CrewAI Python package, and this is how you're going to install it. CrewAI, and then in brackets tools, and then OpenAI, because we are going to use OpenAI in this case. We are going to use one LLM also, right? Here you load the environment variables. So environment variables, you can create a .env file in your directory where you load this Jupyter notebook, and in that directory you can create OpenAI API key, give your key here. So you need to create a .env file, and in that env file you give this API key, Open API key. If you don't know how to get a Open API key, you go to platform.openai key, go to your account, go to API key section and create a new secret API key, give a name test, select default project and create. You will get an API key. Okay, come back here, put that API key in this variable, and that's it. Using this .env library, you load the environment file so that your Open API key is available in the environment file. Now what we do, we create a LLM object. Okay, so this is how we import LLM from CrewAI module, and then we initialize LLM. We give the model name. I have given GPT-4. You can give any model you want. Temperature, let it be 0.1. It is a creativity parameter, like test this LLM. LLM.call, who coined machine learning term for the first time. When you run it, it will give you an output. The term machine learning was coined by Arthur Samuel in 1959. Okay, now this is a very important step. Pay your attention here. So in CrewAI, there are three important modules. One is agent, then task, and crew. So for the purpose of this example, I'm going to show you how we can format an email which is very badly written into a formal email. So I need to create one agent. Okay. How can I create an agent? This is how I can create an agent. We already imported agent from CrewAI. You give a role, okay, email assistant agent, then you give a goal, improve emails and make them sound professional and clear. Backstory. Backstory is like a system prompt. We sometimes give in ChatGPT like you are a experienced software developer or you are an experienced content creator, and then we give our query. Similarly, here also you give a backstory like a highly experienced communication expert skilled in professional email writing. Verbose true means I want the output in a very detailed format, and then you give the LLM. All right. Now, this is the example of my original email. Have a read. Now, second important step here is email task. Okay. So now we have created an agent above. Now, to give a task to an agent that this is what you're going to do, we create a task. So task what it is? Description. Take the following rough email and rewrite it into a professional and polished version. All right. So I give the original email body like this in quotes, and that's it. Then we give the agent name, email assistant, expected output. So sometimes we want our output in a proper format. Let's say for a different use case, it could be JSON. But here we want a professional written email with proper formatting and content. And the last step, define crew and run. So how do we do that? Crew is basically a symbol of agents and tasks. So crew, agents, in this case we have only one. So we write the name email assistant, tasks, email task, verbose true, and then we write crew.kickoff and we take the result and print it. Let me show you. Crew execution started, agent started. See how this input agent, how this agent is taking the input, right? Let me expand it. Okay, agent final answer. So the email went into this email assistant, and this is the output. See how properly it created subject and the body, correct? And task completed, crew completion, and that's it. That's how you got the answer. All right. So this was one example how to format your email. Okay. Now let's see the use of tools. Tool is a added functionality given to the agents. For example, we want to get some information from internet, or we want to scrap some website, or we want to book a flight. Okay, for that functionality, we use tools. Let me show you an example of tool. Okay, I just have copied the earlier Jupyter notebook. Everything is same, right? You load the environment variable, you initialize LLM, and this is the bad example email. Here I have used a lot of abbreviations like PRD, POC, TBD, right? Any abbreviations which are right in this email, you can see these are general ones, but let's say you replace them with your internal organization jargons, which are not available over internet, or the LLM also does not know. So how we make sure that LLM knows it? We create a tool and we give that tool to the agent, and then agent figures out and replaces these jargons with the proper output. How we create a tool? So it is very simple. In CrewAI.tools, you import a base tool like a base class. Okay, whatever tool name you have, you write the name. Here I have written replace jargon tool. Name I have given replace jargons, and description as replace jargons with more specific terms. And then you create a run function. Okay, you pass the email and then create a dictionary of the abbreviation and their explanation. Any abbreviation which is found in your email, a suggestion will be written. How? Consider replacing jargon with replacement. So from this function, we are giving suggestion to the agent that these many abbreviations came in email and you would like to replace them. if you want to. Okay, so if I run this, this is the output I get. Consider replacing PRD with project requirement document /n, meaning new line. Consider replacing CIO with Chief Information Officer, a new line. And similarly, all the other, abbreviations are given in this suggestion. In the agent, we just have to add one parameter, tools JT. What is JT? JT is an object of this class. Replace jargon tool. So that's it. You don't have to do anything else. Task is basically the same one. Take the following email and rewrite into professional and polished version. Crew, email assistant. It is same. Whatever we have seen in our previous example. And crew dot kickoff and print result. Let us run it. Crew execution started. Agent started. Agent in the agent, the email with the abbreviations is there. And then the tool execution started, right? This is the input to the tool, the whole email, you see, and then the tool output. Consider replacing PRD with project like that. I have shown you, right? So these are the suggestions given by the tool, and this is the final answer of the agent. If you see, let me show you the earlier email, the bad one. The PRD of the new dashboard, right? The POC we ran last week. The CIO, they are onboarded but want to us flag. Everything is replaced. The project requirement document as PRD, the proof of concept as POC, like that. So now the email became more professional. Okay, so now till now we have seen two examples. One was using a basic agent, and in the second, we added more functionality to the agent. But CrewAI is orchestration platform, right? So if there are multiple agents, then how can we add them in a crew? So here our use case is to write a blog. So here we have two agents. One is researcher, which does the research of the content for that particular blog. And another is the creative writer, which takes that research and then creates the facts and customer consumable content. And what is the crew here? Researcher plus writer. These are two agents which are going to run. All the steps are same, right? You set up an environment of LLM and everything, and then you initialize the agents. How do you do that? So we have two agents, right? One is research agent. You define the role, you define the goal, right? And then you define the backstory, verbose, LLM. Everything is simple. You just have a look at it, right? In writer, we write creative writer. Goal is write a short blog summary using the research. And backstory, you are skilled at writing engaging summaries based on provided content. And then you define tasks, right? Like we did earlier. So in the first task, which we want for the research agent to pick on, we write description as find 3 to 5 interesting and recent facts about the topic. Why we have written this in our Angular brackets? This is important concept. So in the runtime, we are going to pass the exact topic. So for that purpose, I just written topic in the bracket. And similarly here also, if you see in the agent, we have written topic in bracket. And then you define the task 2. Task 2 is basically the creative agent task. So you write a 100 blog post summary about the topic using the facts from the research, and then expected output, a blog post summary. Agent is writer agent. Context. So here we pass the output of agent 1, that is research agent, to the creative writer agent. Okay. So this task 2 is dependent on task 1. So that's why we have given the context as task 1 in bracket. And rest is same. Define crew, research agent, writer agent, task as task 1 and task 2 were both true. CrewAI kickoffs. Now here is the important concept. I just earlier told you that topic is a dynamic variable. So this is how we pass the dynamic variables in form of dictionary in the inputs keyword. So topic, the future of AI, and that's it. Let's run it. What is the topic we have given? The future of AI. So agent started, the research specialist, find 3 to 5 interesting and recent facts about the future of AI. Agent final answer. So it gone through, it's stored data in it and then given the answer. Task completed. The next agent, which is creative writer, this also started and it wrote the summary. From where it wrote the summary, based on the research agent output, it wrote the summary. And then crew completion, CrewAI completed and gave the summary. Summary is basically the output from the creative writer. So this is the summary. Okay, so this is how you orchestrate multiple agents together using CrewAI. So a lot of you might be thinking that we haven't used recent data to answer the question, right? So let's add one internet tool to our agent to get the very recent data. So the data we got in this summary is the old one. Why? Because it does not have the functionality of internet. Got it? So let's see an example. How can we add the internet? For this, we need one API called Serper API. How do you? So this is the website Serper, right? You type on internet that Serper API. This is the website you have to open. Do the sign in, and you click on the API keys. Copy the default API key like this, and you in your environment variables. Earlier we talked about environment variable, environment file, right? What you do, you create a server, you create a serper API key attribute, and you paste the serper API key along with your OpenAI API key. Got it? Right. And rest of the steps are simple. You set up the LLM and then you initialize the agent. Here also we are taking the same problem of blog writing. So here we have again two agents, research specialist and creative writer. We will give the functionality of internet using SERPDev tool, and CrewAI gives out of the box lot of tools you can check out on their website. Okay, so how we give this tool to this agent? We have seen the example of tool in our second example. Similarly, what you do, you just create an object of this class, SERPDev tool. Automatically, this tool will take the environment variable Serper API key and be initialized. And that's it. Everything else is same, right? Task also the same tasks we have given. It's just that the research agent has added functionality of internet. You just execute it. Agent started. Research specialist find 3 to 5 interesting and recent facts. Here, this is the important step. Agent tool execution. Now you see, internet from internet. This tool is getting the information. So these are some of the links. Okay, now let's open one of the link. See, this is the latest information it is taking from some website, and then final answer from the research specialist. So this agent will take the output of research agent as input, and then it will create the final summary. You see here it has predicted the future till 2027 based on the recent information from internet. So that's it. You can create any of your use case, let it be digital marketing, let it be project management, any kind of tool you can create where there is a need of AI agents and their orchestration. You can use the Creo AI package. It is completely free, open source, so you can use it using your Python. For any questions or feedbacks, put them on comment section. I'll respond to all of them. Thank you.